Okay, we're just over 500 miles on the Solo, about 540 to be exact. And I thought this would be a good time for me to give you a review of where we're at right now and critique a few elements that definitely could be improved on. Okay, so let's get started. We've got on the left side of the vehicle, on the interior, we have the HVAC system. And I'll have to say that if you have your sunglasses on or the lighting isn't right, it's very difficult to see that screen. Whether you're adjusting the fan speed, the different mode that it's in, heating or cooling, recycling, just very difficult to see. This module, with the understanding that they're trying to keep costs in check, I think could be replaced. And a lot of the stuff that you see around the Solo is clearly off the shelf from other auto manufacturers, and that's definitely one that I think that they have room for improvement. The rest of these buttons over here, I think are pretty comprehensive. They work well. You don't use them often, so I don't think that doing much improvement, again, with balance on keeping cost in mind, need to be replaced. But definitely the HVAC system has a lot of room for improvement. Just the controls. I will say that the air conditioning and the heating, they work very well, easily cooling or warming this small cabin quickly and efficiently. Even with the sound of the fan coming on, it really isn't obtrusive, and it's understandable being in a small space like we're in. Moving over to the other side, we have the JVC sound system, and it's okay. It gives you a charge point over there for whatever smart device you're using, and for the most part, it works okay. The dial here, again, feels very cheap. It is difficult to operate while you're driving. I tend to, when I have my phone in the cradle, use that, or it connects to my Apple Watch, so I can make some connections there to adjust certain things. The center display is very clear and functional. The clock, I haven't figured out how to turn that back to just a 12-hour clock, but check back later. I'll see if I can get that figured out. Everything else on the screen seems to be pretty comprehensive. Other functions within the cabin, the door on both sides are almost identical. This one has the control for the heated seat and works very well. One thing I think they could have done, since they are running power to each of the doors, would be to have the button for the window to be lit. At least have some kind of an indicator light on it. And you'll see that's the same on the other side. Cup holder, it's about as good as you're gonna get it in this cramped space. I'm not really sure where else they could put it. The problem with it is if you do have a liquid item in there and you're opening and closing the door and it's full, obviously you have a risk of spilling. Something to keep in mind. Now let's get outside and I'll show you some other things that I'd like to critique. The doors are interesting because I will do another video at night, but from a light perspective, on most cars you have some kind of a light indicator when the doors open, at least a reflector, and you can see there's nothing on this, and there is no puddle light, and I think that would be seems to be, to me anyways, an inexpensive addition. The exterior of the vehicle, I think overall looks pretty good, and I do get a lot of compliments on it. There is one feature on it that I think takes away from it, And it probably does have a lot to do with safety and laws, but these mirrors are just way too big. Clearly from the parts bin of an automobile manufacturer, and they're just huge. And you start to really notice it as you're driving, that it eats up a lot of your visibility. But moving around the front, you can see the lights are on here, and it's quite a good looking vehicle. So anyways, that's just a little bit of a critical review of interior and exterior after I've completed just over 500 miles. And I'll give you another review as we knock on the door of 1,000, hopefully, in the near future. Have a good one. Thanks.